You guys are hanging out in the embassy discussing the mysteries of the universe. For our viewers wondering where the fuck Freddy went, he apparently his internet fucking died. And I checked back with TJ. He's not around. And
Chris is working.
Chris is working. So.
And
enjoy.
Matt Shermerly is still at his brother's place.
Oh yeah, Matt doesn't play 2 days in a week.
Okay.
Usually.
Yeah.
So
depending
carry
on. All right. I was going to say, have you reached out to Corey or Jace?
Oh, good call. Well, I'm still trying to get into Facebook because it doesn't know my passwords and shit anymore.
Just
so you know, all we talked about was out of game stuff, like good to meet you, time zones and stuff like that.
Yeah. We purposely didn't speak game stuff. We chatted out of game stuff.
Yeah, Pete's a fucking beast, man. He games in a not auspicious time zone for,
Yeah. Well, if you started earlier than 2 p.m. that being earlier for 2 p.m. would be better for me. That would be a lot harder for the people in the US.
Yes. Chris is upset he's not able to make it. So I will reach out. Who first? Corey or Jason? You guys choose.
Did you want to?
You should try Corey first, I guess, because Jason gets in trouble if he plays too much.
Has Jason actually been playing this weekend at all?
He's got tomorrow.
Tomorrow, is he?
Yeah, good point. Cool. I will mute myself. You guys can go ahead and talk.
I was going to say, I got a message from Jace about 9 minutes ago from his mobile.
Well, there you go. Let's start there.
Start with Jason.
We've been chatting privately, in-game chat, but privately about different things.
Got it. Okay, will do.
Because there's some stuff going on that don't want other people to know about. So we can't even use the inboard stuff. And I was bad mouthing Aeolus about him not being very good for doing cons. A bit of a nervous Nelly when trying to use counterfeit money.
Oh my God! Well, I know that both of you have had like a 5-year-old try to lie to you. That's approximately Freddy's character's lying skill.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I would not let him go anywhere near the market ever again, because both times he's been there, people got real suspicious just because he was acting over the top suspiciously.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Both of Chris and my characters, Sweaty and Twitchy, rolled into one.
I remember those guys. What animals they were. All right. Well, I'll keep trying, people. You guys, please continue.
All right. So you covered the Tri-Kingdoms.
So, Doc, there was another area which was... So with some of these worlds seem to be interlinked, as in they seem to be like a shadow realm, a different shadow world, but further or previous in timelines. But they were different enough that we couldn't do things like get Tatslotto numbers or get horse racing results or football results or whatever and use that to make money. So I don't know if anybody explained to you about the two main different timelines we've encountered.
Not so much, no. Raslin and I had some theories, but we don't have a clear definitive line of zone versus timeline versus same pocket.
Okay, so we've got two. I mean, there are other, besides some of the more. There's a few other ones, but the two main ones we had encountered were one which is a world where there was Europe and Australia, and one which is where there was no Australian continent. Europe didn't exist, but there was a landmass in the same area, but was different, where Genovia exists. So this world we're in currently, the Beastkin world, is a Genovian timeline world. Gothic is also excuse me. Gothic is also Genovian. Night City and Cyberpunk Hong Kong is European. The red carpet was European. Was a world where Europe existed. There was a post-apocalyptic world, which I can't recall if we'd worked out which one that was. We hadn't been able to get enough information to determine that one.
Which one has the satellites in it?
The satellites in it.
Yeah.
Potentially the post-apocalyptic one, which was seemed to be a variation of MyGo, had invaded Earth and were basically getting children for a war, an intergalactic war. And that's probably where Doc got his tools from, because Doc spent some time there. And also where he got his Zazos flying heads from.
It would have been great if he'd mentioned this to me. Just left out this whole intergalactic war, MyGo infiltration.
Yeah. So, and that world, the MyGo have actually left. Doc was able to break in with Thready and a couple other and some others, break into some bases, making use of the satellites, but things have gotten a bit tricky there to break in. And the last time we were there was, things were going, because the MyGo had left with all the people that were in the middle zone, which was all the people working directly with them, things were starting to get a bit chaotic there.
Now, do you think these are real MyGo or
Doc
Dora MyGo?
Well, I don't know. Doc seemed to think, I'd never seen them. From Doc's encounter with them, he said they didn't look like the MyGo he knew.
Like
they were different.
Kind of like a big pod thing, like a
as I said, I don't know. I never saw them. I'm just going by what Doc said. But from what he said, they were, so that world's version or that universe's version of the MyGo, perhaps. So, and then we've got other worlds such as the Tri-Kingdoms and MMO Land that appear to be completely different to, as in their land masses, etc., seem to be completely different.
Okay.
The one thing we found with both the Genovian worlds and the European worlds is that most of them have a San Angeles, such as what we're in now. And they seem to have similar history, except for, like obviously this one's got Genovia coming here, etc. But so the MMO world, as an example, started off with people from Night City entering into pods, going into an MMO game, and where they ended, and the MMO game they ended up was in this other world, what we've called MMO Land.
Gotcha.
So the refugees here are actually all originally from Night City, or their bodies were in Night City, but they created characters, and that's why they're now, even though they were humans in Night City, now they're gnomes or elves or whatever, because that's their character that they created.
Gotcha.
But yes, there's a lot more to it than that, but that's just a bit of a high-level overview.
You were trying to create pattern. Was it a pattern or like primal pattern, like to create your own universe?
It was using the Jeweler Judgment to create a pattern. So I walked the Jeweler Judgment, and then I was using the Jeweler Judgment to create a pattern inside Ghost Wheel, as we believed that things were falling, things were starting to collapse, and we needed that to solidify things. So it was, at the time, it was Doc, myself, and I can't remember if it was, I think it was Raslin.
Yeah, Raslin said he was there when you had your accident. What do you think went wrong?
Roll20 hates me. Um, bad. The fates were against me. Just bad luck.
Gotcha.
I was actually better qualified to do it than Doc was, which is why I started doing it. Just things just didn't work out.
Gotcha.
But yeah. And thus we have ourselves in this situation.
Doc also had a theory. You mentioned the AIs. Doc had a theory that the AIs were originally Amberites, and then as things occurred, they started manifesting into Amberites here. Does that sound right to you?
That's an interesting theory. No, I hadn't seen the AIs as Amberites at all. I actually thought they might have been things that Ghost Wheel created.
It could be both.
Is one of my theories is that, well, if we say that Ghost Wheel, we're not in some simulation, be it a micro simulation or some virtual reality mass multiplayer game or something that's, some sort of lit RPG type stuff, was that Ghost Wheel purposely created us and put us basically where this is a mouse maze. Ghost Wheel wants to study Amberites, wants to study how they work, how they think, if there's, and might potentially use us as soldiers. So he's putting us in constant pressure situations so that we get stronger faster than the typical Amberite does, because they spend a lot of time sitting around not doing anything.
Agreed. Yeah, I kind of had the thought similar to that down that same pipe dream.
And so I think that the AIs were potentially something Ghost Wheel had tried before us to see, or it was something added to the mix just to give a foil, a potential foil or ally, depending on how we encountered them, as some of the AIs we've made allies with previously, or became servitors of along the way before we walked the pattern. Because there's a place where a lot of the Doras go to called the Halfway Inn, and from talking to Doras there, they seem to talk about there being a path, as in you collect magic items in the worlds, and that will allow you then to advance to another level.
Now, what's the difference between Doras like us? I mean, we both have the marks, but the other pretend Doras from like MMO Land. What's the difference?
I'm not sure. That's something we're still trying to work out. We're not. So there's a couple of differences between us and other Doras. We all seem to feel a link between each other, which we don't feel towards other Doras. Again, this could be just a different thing, a different strategy that Ghost Will's trying, like having Doras do their own thing versus having Doras feel a connection so that they work as a group. We also appear to disappear. We also disappear at times, whereas the other Doras do not. I've spoken to a couple of Doras about it. Some of us have been trying to get information out of other Doras. All of the Doras seem to be very close-lipped about the situation. But from talking to some of the other Doras, we seem to be unique in regards to that we feel a connection. Well, that's from the Doras we've spoken to anyway, that they are aware of, and B, that we disappear at times.
Gotcha.
Seem to not exist, be removed from reality. No other Doras seem to have that happen to them that we've heard of.
Okay.
So, one thing we did find is that with the MMO Land people, once they became Doras, which seemed to occur from when they left MMO Land and traveled to other places via a gate there, that's when they seem to A, sever their connection to their bodies, and B, become Doras. They are cousins now. They have
Okay.
the same. So we did some base. We picked up a DNA testing kit in Cyberpunk Hong Kong, and we did some testing on the two leaders, and they showed up as being related to us.
If you just
Whereas
told random citizens, like,
we checked some of the people in Burlington, they did not show up that way. We haven't gone to the extent of getting a couple of them to come with us and try and walking the pattern, as I don't know if any of them would be capable of doing that, as they don't appear to be getting put under the meat grinder like us.
I don't know, Freddie can do it. If Freddie can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, well, actually, there's other people that have walked it that were nowhere near as skilled as Freddie that have managed to do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, poor Raslin was forced to and you've done it as well.
Yeah.
In your very close to when you first appear here. So,
do you know of any other patterns besides the one in the village?
Well, the one in Amber.
I think Freddie said somebody said that one was missing.
Okay, I'm not.
And they suspected, or I think it was Doc, because Doc did the one in Amber, right?
Yes, Doc, myself, Doc, and another person, Rock. We were the first three to walk the pattern.
Great, because Doc thinks the one in the village is the same one from Amber.
Okay, so he thinks it's the one from Amber as opposed to the one from Ghost Wheel.
Yes.
So he doesn't think it was. So Doc doesn't think it was the one he created.
I think he thought it was. He was convinced it was
the one he created.
Yes.
So the one he created was inside Ghost Wheel.
Okay. So you might want to confer. You might want to write that down and confer with him, because
I asked Freddie about that, and I've had to look at myself recently just to try and work out whether or not it is the one that Doc created, but I've not walked it. So, and originally we decided that we weren't going to walk it because it seemed to be. Did Doc explain to you how we seem to be in a pocket realm? There seemed to be a barrier around us.
Oh, is that the
firewall?
Firewall, yes.
Yes, yeah. So we found that as more walked the pattern in Ghost Wheel, that seemed to make the firewall weaker and move further away.
That's a good thing.
Yes and no.
Why?
Well, the firewall stopped people coming in. The only people that could come into these areas were us. It stopped a Chaos Lord from getting in here.
So
I was trying to get in here.
Why haven't? No, I understand.
Fiona tried to get in here, and the wall burnt her.
All right, interesting. But my question to you is Freddie said that you're the leader. All the doors follow you. You are.
Well, only because some of the ones who have been around longer than me haven't fairly carefree and are just as happy to follow along and get drunk and have other people pay for their stuff.
No, that was me.
No.
What did Freddie pay in Hong Kong?
No, I'm talking about people like Alex Kinley and Mildred.
For some reason, Freddie couldn't understand why, I've been gone in limbo for like 25 years or so. Mm-hmm. First thing I want to do is get out, is eat some good Chinese, and get some hookers, I don't know. I don't think it's asking too much.
Why not? Why not?
See? All right. I guess you are. All right. But anyway, how come nobody's doing anything about this? How come nobody's solving the riddles, fixing the gaps, plugging the holes, spackling the cracks, whatever you want to call it?
Different people have different, like humans, like people,
mm-hmm.
Different doors in our group have different motivations or different drives, I suppose. Some aren't interested in the big picture stuff. Even though it has an impact on them, they'd rather just have fun or do their own thing. There's a few of us that are interested in the big picture, and sometimes because we have no control of when we're here and when we're not.
Yeah.
It's sometimes hard to coordinate when those of us interested in dealing with the big picture are actually around to do stuff about it and start investigating it. And sometimes the big picture stuff requires certain skill sets that different people may or may not have. So there's several factors as to why.
Don't you think you could kind of herd them? Or even just out and out lie to them and be like, hey, guys, you know, here, I'll just throw something out there like, oh, yeah, you know, so you guys like money. Well, there's that giant gold shipment that those ice torque guys took over in Burlington. Why don't you go get it?
Yeah, so
Get him, Tiger.
some of the stuff like the ice talk people are not necessarily the big picture stuff. And that's the other thing. It's some of the thing is trying to work out what is it that's just the stuff happening between the different worlds and what is actually big picture stuff. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge as well because there's lots of stuff going on and lots of things intermingled.
Just lie and make shit up. People are stupid. They're gullible. Oh, that great cargo of whiskey just showed up and, you know, it's in the top, you know, ice tower or whatever. You know, put your drunk kidney on it or something, you know?
Well, it was something I was contemplating trying to get to do with Kinley. So part of the issue, so say the ice tower, for example, part of the issue we have is getting to MMO land and having the ability to get to the ice tower.
Freddie said he had trumps to somewhere near there.
Yes, but then it's if Freddie's not around, as an example, as you know, like the whole thing about sometimes we have no control over who's here, is that if Freddie's not around, then it makes it hard to do that. And then we've got other circumstances such as we may find ourselves somewhere. That's the other thing. We don't have any control over where we wake up, where we come back into existence. Sometimes we come back into existence in situations that are such that it makes it hard for us to be able to deal with the big picture stuff.
Understood.
Unless we completely ignore that situation.
Everybody's ignoring everything anyways. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
But here's my thought is why not, you know, just start knocking out some of the low-hanging fruit? Because even though you're like, it's not big picture, you know what, though? But it's like you got the 3-year-old kicking you in the ankle all day long. Eventually your ankle's going to get sore. You know?
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, and I'd love to be able to do something about what's happening with
you like to kick 3-year-olds too, don't you? Huh? You know.
But yes, I'd love to be able to do something about what's happening to Burlington and track down that mage.
Yeah, that's all Freddie's fault because he didn't stop him. Freddie was there. Did he tell you?
Yeah, apparently they saw him in the distance and he flipped him off or something. And
yeah, that'll teach him.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Just so you know, Logan, you have your mute on. No hiding your laughter. All right.
So yes.
So
because
you
like
know,
take for example the mage that closed the portal for Burlington.
Yes.
So he or she, because as far as I know, they never saw the face; they just saw a hooded figure. So it could be a she, for all we know.
Mm-hmm.
Colburn in the room. You guys both kind of just happen to notice. He looks around.
Yeah, Colburn.
Gentlemen.
Do you know Maddox?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yep, we've met.
It's Wade, sorry. What am I saying? Maddox. You're Maddox. You're Colburn Maddox.
At least he's met himself. Thank goodness for that.
You, Colburn, me, Sway, him. You got to go a little slow for this guy once in a while, Colburn.
Yeah. So has Colburn told you his theory as to what's happening here?
He's furious?
No, his theory.
Theory?
What he believes. Yes.
Colburn has a theory?
Yes.
And this is the same guy I used to hang out and watch Sleep Stack porn with, you know? I mean, I know his theories.
That's sad and true.
Yeah, this is clearly just a really bad coma. That's it. I'm stuck in a coma, and all of this is just regurgitated stuff I've seen in either movies, games, my earlier life.
Yeah.
It's just a coma.
Go back to sleep. Go back to sleep.
I'm trying to wake up, but it's not working. My first real recollection of the coma. I was stuck in a place where people had jackets on and numbers. So to test my coma theory, I went up on top of a tower with this other guy who was following me around. Told him to wait at the bottom, and he was waiting at the bottom, and this woman walked up to him, started talking to him, and I dove off the top of the tower and managed to land myself like a spear right into the lady that was standing next to him. And I woke up, and clearly I have proven that this is just a coma because you can't survive that kind of shit.
Prove it. Do it again.
I look around for a tower.
We're inside a room. Anyway,
I get on, Logan, I get on top of the back of the couch.
I point to the window. I point to the window.
I don't think it'll work here because wasn't part of the thing is that you were there's been a couple of people who have been in the village where they were actually androids or robots and their bodies were in the tunnels.
Come on, I put $1 on the table. Come on, Colbert. You can't make it. But $1 that says you can. I believe in you, Colbert.
Yeah, I'm not into bets.
Mm-hmm. You're just afraid to defenestrate yourself, aren't you?
I've done this a few times already. It's actually one of my better skills.
Defenestration, yes.
Okay.
Scarily, yes.
All right, so your theory is that you're in a coma.
Well, yeah, it only makes sense. Now, I did meet a guy named Rasslin Red, and he has a theory that this is a Mormon simulation.
The Mormons are tricky.
However, even though I last recalled that the Mormons were at war with the cartels in Mexico, I don't think this is some sort of simulation to see how they can win that war. Side note, that's something that's actually really happening in the world today.
Really?
Yes. There's a giant faction of Mormons that broke off from the United States way back in the day and got a shit ton of land in Mexico. And they are at war with the fucking cartel.
And which one are you fighting with, Colbert?
One of Mitt Romney's dirty little secrets is that his family is part of that fucking war.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mitt Romney's related to a bunch of the Mormon landowners down there that are at war with the cartel.
Uh-huh.
Well,
they managed to keep that real quiet during the elections.
TJ, look on the floor there, and why don't you pick up that little foil hat that you've got under your desk and put it back on? Here we go. See?
Here we go. Yes.
See?
Frightening.
I knew him back when he was a boy. I know these things.
He always keeps his foil hat close by. If he had a really elaborate foil hat to pull out, I'd give him more cards.
That's in the basement gaming room. One of the gamers, he rolled up a conspiracy theorist for one of my games, and showed up to a session with a giant bag full of stuff, and he pulls out all these fucking tinfoil hats for every player. You need these. Yeah, he was great. Missed that guy.
So, who do you think the big major players are then in the big picture, Joshua?
In the big picture.
Who was the one that left the sign from Hong Kong? You were there for that, right, Joshua?
Who left the what? Sorry.
The one who left the sign that said, "You've helped me a lot here.
Oh yeah.
So I'll let you go this time."
I don't know if we can talk about that. We can or cannot.
The major player, yes, that specific mod, probably not.
Okay. So
Right.
So we
but I meant the player.
Yeah, I know, but it sort of linked with it a bit. Anyway, yes, Indigo, which is one of the AIs I mentioned, and that actually was an AI that Doc and I were server to, we'd allied ourselves with for a while. Walking the pattern basically purges that, and you can no longer become associated with a AI that way. You gain abilities. Gotcha. Your eyes are fully the color of that AI.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
So we've had people aligned with indigo, yellow, white. Excuse me, I think that's it. Oh, brown. Sorry, that was the other one. But we also know of blue, red.
So another theory I had is that Freddy, there's something about that guy.
Mm-hmm.
What if he's a Ghost Wheel spy? What if he is the Dora of Ghost Wheel?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He's pretty chaotic. He tries to draw a lot of attention to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tries to get everybody else in trouble.
Constantly trying to be in charge.
Yeah. Apex predator. Uh-huh.
That would be the most sly shit ever.
I somehow think in this instance it's a bit of an Occam's razor where, yes, he's...
That would be the greatest fucking Logan. I'd be so impressed.
Thank you.
I don't know. I think there's a coincidence that Logan has to keep rebooting his computer and Freddy keeps disappearing. I'm noticing something. It's all coming together now.
Maybe indeed.
God, that'd be so fucked up.
So you think the AIs are a big player?
So a lot of the AIs seem to be just in one shadow world.
Okay. Which one?
Sorry, as in each of them potentially in a separate one.
Shadow world?
They don't
is that what we're calling all the instances?
Quick question. Do you guys mind having more than the normal amount of people in today's session, since it's a briefing thing as opposed to a go do a mod thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Carry on.
Fucking slam them in here. Fucking pump them all in.
I'll be back. 1 second.
So, McKay.
Yes.
Shadow worlds, is that different than each one of these, or all of these shadow?
No, that's just yet another term for them.
Right,
Link to do with the whole Amber stuff.
Got it. Amber. I don't think I've been to Amber yet. I've heard it mentioned a bunch, but haven't been there yet.
You've walked the pattern though, haven't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So the pattern's linked with Amber.
Oh, okay. All right.
And so the thing about Amber is that it's believed that every Shadow Worlds is basically a multiverse. Each one's like a different world. Some closely aligned, some different.
Okay. All right. So was Ralph or Swade able to get a list of all the big players that you believe are?
Well, that's the thing. We're not. I mean, that's the thing with the worlds. There's no sort of big players. Some of it is. Yes, that's right. Some of it is stuff in the background.
I mean, you fucking open the doors to the amusement park, how many people are going to fucking start asking if there's an administration they can discuss or talk to?
Yep.
Hey, can I see your business? And I'd like to know what kind of company this is. This is really cool. Fuck all those cool rides and shit over there. Do you have an accountant we can talk to?
I can see the players doing that in this campaign as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Just saying, not something I really picture the players doing.
No. Oh, and if the two of you find yourselves in the village and you do not have any trump cards with you and you do not wish to walk the pattern again, Freddie and I managed to escape by stealing the copter, disabling the zapper inside it to stun people, and flying it west across the golf course. So it's possible that driving a golf cart continually west will do the same thing. We don't know. Or walking continually west will do the same thing. But we were able to fly the copter west and come out where we wanted to.
So I got a question for you.
Yep.
You've got people willing to serve you, bring you tea, food.
Yep.
You can golf as much as you want to. Why would you want to leave there? That's a retirement. That's Florida.
Yeah. I mean, the golf course didn't used to be there. The golf course is a new addition, presumably due to Doc's influence.
We have to get out of here. Oh, there's a golf course.
Depends on if you're into golf or not.
Have you encountered in any of these zones anything resembling Jamaica?
It's quite possible Jamaica is in one of these zones. It's not somewhere we've particularly gone to.
Got some life goals there, Swade?
Actually, if Swade's correct, and the zone is actually Florida, that would explain why the penis of the United States is filled to the tip with crazy.
Oh, he's back.
Yes.
So yes, so we I've completely lost my train of thought. Oh yes, so a couple of us when we went to the cyberpunk world, we ended up in Southeast Asia because we shadow walked there, and we then basically had to, I can't remember if we were in Cambodia or somewhere else, make our way to Hong Kong because we didn't have any trumps or anything in Hong Kong at the time.
Did you happen to pass through Vietnam? Is the war still going on?
I don't think we passed through Vietnam. I believe we ended up buying a plane and low flying to Hong Kong, avoiding Coast Guard and military.
Swade, Freddie's sitting on your lap since there's only 3 chairs here.
I'll pull the cord.
All right, no problem. A servant comes in.
Could you fetch another chair, please?
Very good, Sam.
Thank you. So if you drink, can you get him to talk?
If I drink, can I get him to talk?
Yeah,
sure. I take a drink and I slap Freddie. Tell him what he wants to know. Tell him. What? I have another drink.
For some reason, Freddie's fallen off of roll 20 when you slapped him. I don't know what.
Now that slap, Jesus, that was hard.
Yeah.
As Freddie disappears again. No,
I'm here. No.
Freddie, we can't hear you.
So yes, but one of your theories about Aeolus could be quite true.
I believe so.
What theory? What theory? Where?
I hold up the painting of Dworkin. Doing what, Logan?
It looks as though Freddie is dressed as a unicorn being ridden by Dworkin.
And by ridden, he doesn't mean written as a euphemism.
Yeah. By the way, you've logged out of Roll20 again, possibly in shock from seeing
How? I'm right there. Okay, hold on.
It's not a photograph; it's a painting, by the way. But yes,
I roll it back up and hide it
just
before you can try to
just to
take it.
clarify what he's
What's
showing
the
you.
quality of the painting?
It's
I
really
assess-
nice. It looks like a professional artist did it.
Whoever drew this is quite talented.
Mhm.
I
I
need to
agree.
meet them one day.
Cost me $1 for this.
I could have painted that forward. Okay.
Self-portrait and like done in a mirror, apple in the mouth.
Wow.
So what you're saying, Dworkin is in my eyes? What?
Well,
What?
it could,
Dworkin's in your ass.
In the painting, it's not your eye he's in.
I know. It's a euphemism.
Oh, I see.
But what does it mean?
Well, it means that when a old perverted man loves
I know
somebody
what, not that.
very much. Oh, not
Yeah.
that.
I mean, besides the fact that it means we're descended from unicorns, apparently. A unicorn.
Mm.
Okay.
Hold on. Run that by me again, McKay.
So,
As it gets
so
weirder.
And a
supposedly
perverted
our-
man loves a unicorn.
So
Oh, not that
supposedly our grandfather is Merlin,
Oh, okay. Sure.
and Merlin's father is Corwin.
Is Colburn?
Corwin.
Oh,
Could
and
be.
Oh, okay.
And Freddy's dropped again from Roll20. And
Ow.
Corwin's father is Oberon.
Uh-huh.
And Oberon's parents is Dworkin and the unicorn.
wait.
Sure.
So what you're saying is Dworkin, who fucked the unicorn, also stole the serpent's eye, right?
Potentially, yes.
Now, here's the thing.
That is one of the stories.
Here's the thing.
There are several stories as to how the pattern got created. That's
In
one.
a lot of these stories, though, some of these god-type characters can transform into other things.
Yeah.
So maybe at the time, it wasn't a unicorn.
Yes, I already said that. I've said that as well. That
Okay,
potentially that
But that doesn't paint as good of a picture as what this one is.
that the so well, there's two possibilities. Dworkin transformed himself into a unicorn,
Right? To make himself more sexy. Got it.
or the unicorn transformed herself into a woman.
Right.
But then if you look at like things like the Greek and Roman legends as well, there's all the stuff about Zeus being a
Poor Loki. Oh,
I
God.
like picturing Freddy as a furry better.
well, you may not know that Alex Kinley had sex with one of the Beastkin. And I think Raslin.
How is that not known? He tries to fuck everything that
Yes.
moves.
So you could
I hope so.
potentially, if we were to introduce Alex to the unicorn, and if the unicorn fluttered her eyes at him, we'd have to go somewhere else because it'd be on for young and old, I suspect.
Yeah, I get it. He's clearly my id fucking going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, guys, I think you're all really swell. There you go.
Oh, thanks, Wes.
Group Insta-hero, yay!
Oh, sweet.
Group?
Freddy dropped again. Cue
But
the
I'm
internet.
literally right there. I can see what you're doing.
Lies or lies. So, yeah.
And you've got a few cards there too.
Oberon, your subconscious is way, way, way off the hook. You're really worried that they may be giving you some sort of hallucinogenics in with your morphine, if you're correct on your theory of life, the universe, and everything.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna fucking full retrieve that. No, I'm not, because I have too many cards.
That's right, Nick.
Yeah.
So,
And it
Freddy,
can't be retrieved anyway.
it cannot. It says
That's
this,
right, Nick.
this card may not be retrieved from the discard pile.
And our other theory, Freddy, is you're actually the avatar of Ghost Wheel.
Yes, that was one of the theories.
What? Why?
Even the guy inside of his eye looks shocked at this.
Why?
Well,
Why?
I didn't
Go on.
say this. I think it was one of those guards out there. We overheard him talking. How you always tried to hinder us. You're always taken from the vault. You're never given back to the team. You didn't stop the wizard.
Don't forget about his mad grab for power. You hear one of the guards say.
See,
What man grabbed the power?
denial.
What? I'm so confused.
Well, we think you're working for the man.
I don't even know who the man is.
Working for. I'm pretty sure he is the man.
I'm not the man. I'm just Aeolus. People call me
He's
Freddy.
just a
for some
very
reason.
naughty boy.
Apex predator. Forced to be reckoned with. I have a feeling it's going to be all of us against you one day.
No. I don't wanna. I like you all.
Oh, we like you too. That's why we're invited you here. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. We're just messing with you, Freddy.
Are you sure about that?
Nah, we're just messing with you.
Any of you? Do either of you or any of you know hypnosis? I feel like I may have repressed memories of what happened.
We all know hypnosis, Freddy.
Can you try and help me remember what may or may not have happened to me?
No problem. I got it covered.
Grab him by the scruff.
All right.
I am a professional at this.
I was gonna pull out my pocket watch, but go for it. Come on.
I've got hypnosis. Let's see.
There's
Back
no
in
way.
my
this
day,
is
we used to just beat people until they told us what they want.
I took my hypnosis.
He goes, woo!
Colburn, buy a breath mint.
I do as you command, Colburn.
What's it? There are 3 flowers in the vase.
I'm not remembering anything.
Above Colburn, as he's trying to hypnotize you, you see that there are 4 different lights that are currently on.
All right.
All right, Joshua, you want to give it a try?
Yeah,
I do
why
it
not?
my way.
Yes, I pull out my pocket watch.
All right.
Focus on the watch, Freddy.
I watched the watch.
No.
All right.
Let's get rid of that modifier.
That should be a fumble without the modifier. Everybody else
exactly.
who's not ready, give me a willpower times 5.
All right.
He goes, that includes McKay. Colburn's fine.
1 second here.
McKay is fine. Suede is.
Really good.
Oh, yeah. Suede's like, you are now hypnotized, motherfucker. He tells you, and you believe him. You have a feeling you better be hypnotized.
I'm not remembering anything.
No.
This is how we used to do it in my day. I pull out my pistol.
Well, okay, whoa. No,
Now we're getting somewhere.
no. No, maybe I don't want to remember. It's fine. I'll live without knowing it. It's fine.
You can't handle the truth.
What do you think, guys?
Sounds like a man hiding something.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Pistol whip him.
Ow. Ow.
Tell us what
Well,
McKay wants to know.
I don't know. It doesn't help. Ow, my head.
Right. Roll 2d4 there, Ralph.
All right.
Half and half.
Good
I want
thing
one-
it's for
one
special
spell, one
effects.
limit.
Yes. You know what's odd is the other day I was whipping Freddy furiously and he liked it.
Yeah, well,
How's
that
that
was
weird?
different.
And then he asked me to shoot him repeatedly.
No, I
With
asked
what?
you to shoot the octopus that was on my dick repeatedly.
I'm sorry, I don't think I could
Yay.
hear you. What was that?
Too much information.
That you can talk about as much as you want. That's not a mod I'm going to be
It
rerunning.
just strengthens my Dworkin theory.
Mhm.
Maybe he's just trying to take after Alex Kinley.
Freddie.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Go back to the interrogation.
You've
I
got
think we're
two
done
stun
with.
points already, by the way.
Oh, 2 stun? Okay.
Yeah, apparently Swain's really good at pistol whipping somebody, just doing stun damage for some reason.
I used to have a lot of practice.
Yeah, I guess so. Shit.
Now we move to the kneecaps. You sure you don't remember anything?
No, we're done. We're done.
All right, I put it away.
See, he's fled.
Mm-hmm. I
What a guilty
suspect
guy
that
would do.
Freddy's
Hey, Freddy,
exploding.
Have you guys tried the microphone in the ear yet? That little mini microphone to get up into your eyeball?
No, but we can if you want. I mean, I literally cut my eye out and had a look at it, and there was nothing there.
Who cut
Is that different than the
you
time that
cut your eye
Doc
out,
and I took it out?
Or did
No,
Doc cut it out?
That was when Doc cut it out. Yeah.
Are you still having a jar?
Over his face as he realizes that his subconscious is sick and twisted.
Well, no, I cut the eye open. There was nothing in it.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we had soup. So,
Fuck.
That was on the same day I put it off. It was an adventurous day.
A high point in your life.
all right. So back to theories.
Oh yeah, you guys keep getting close to interesting shit, and then it's like, we're getting close to it. No. Let's talk about the time he fucked the octopus. Good call. Yeah, it's like in the Monty Python movie, The Meaning of Life. It's like, whoa, it's either that people are easily distracted or that they're not wearing enough hats, and then they get on this big hat conversation.
Whoever discarded the eavesdrop, you could have potentially used that on Freddy.
Ooh. The microphone.
Damn.
Yeah, the voice is in his head, and then he'll wish he was dead.
All right, so when Freddy had his eyeball removed, there was nothing in the eyeball.
No.
Which means that either it's like a ghost, or it's
Well, we don't know because he had a couple cyber eyes put in. He got the
Well, no.
Mr. Stud implant. He insisted on that one.
Has anybody tried to see if they can sense pattern near you, Freddy?
I'm gonna play been there, done that.
When Doc had a look at me, he said I had some sort of possession, but he didn't know what.
I'm going to see if I can detect the pattern to see if I sense it.
Okay.
Oh, I do. I make my roll.
It's kind of hard to tell because Freddy himself has walked the pattern. If you're not good enough to differentiate between Freddy having pattern and him having pattern.
The detect power pattern is objects only. It states objects.
Oh, objects? No, there's no objects involved.
What about Logris? Can you detect that?
No, not at
I can detect it. Let me see if I detect it.
The fuck is Logris?
The opposite to the pattern. The other end of.
Do I detect Logris?
You smoke it, Colburn. You smoke it.
That's for items only, correct?
Sure.
Yeah. No Logris items.
So if we remove his eye, then it'll be an item.
I
He cracks his knuckles. I like this guy. You're right, Freddy.
Oh, pull the bell.
All right. You pull the bell. They're not instant. There's probably somebody hurrying down the corridor right now.
Yes.
Possibly pushing one of those carts where one of the wheels is really wobbly and like turns around now and then and stuff.
What exactly does that sound like, Logan?
And when someone
shouldn't
gets here, I'll ask him to bring another chair.
Yes. Wow. Actually, I have plans for that. So please continue on.
All right.
Oh, okay.
If he ever.
Has
picks
Freddie
up
gotten off
on
my
it.
lap yet, or what?
Yeah.
I did ask for
I'm-
another chair to be brought in,
Yeah,
but I don't know if he's
I'm
actually
Just
moved.
switching around on it for some reason. You're not sure what's up.
Pulling out some dollar bills. I know how this works.
You still owe me 26 gold, by the way.
26 gold?
For the
Yeah.
last lap dance.
Don't think I've forgotten.
It's a really expensive.
Breslin
lap
said he's got it covered.
dance.
I mean, most lap dances do not also involve octopuses. So, I mean, he definitely has a talent the other girls are not given.
Mm.
So one of my theories is that
Yes.
someone, I'm not sure who, someone stole the unicorn's eye, and I, for some reason, someone's telling me to go get it. So the eyes have it being the unicorn's eye. The eyes, I'm not sure who or what that may be referring to, and they want me to go and retrieve it, and
Okay.
to potentially use it to create the logger to help balance out whatever. Basically, what Doc was sent out to do is now been passed on to me for some reason. That's my theory. Because
Possible.
I've had 2 messages thus far. One said I found it at the bottom of my soup bowl that said complete your task, and another one, and I then heard the voices the other day that said, again, it is the prophecy. So I don't know if that's referring to this or, but yeah.
Colburn seems to be enjoying himself a lot when you're talking.
Does your food often give you messages, Freddie?
At this
Oddly enough,
moment,
no.
the door bursts open, and you see Rasslin Rad in like one of the butler's uniforms come pushing in a big tray with like all kinds of different food and stuff on it.
Oh, awesome. There you go.
I told these blokes the question isn't who's going to let me, but who's going to stop me.
So, Freddie, have you ever read a book that was covered in eyes?
No. I tried very hard not to read it.
And were you successful?
Yes. It's at the bottom of a river somewhere.
Okay.
That's a safe place for it.
I didn't do it on purpose,
And what have you done with the statue?
the statue.
Yes, the jade statue that you were
Oh, Alex
petting
has that.
and stroking.
Kinley has that.
Okay. So you gave it to Alex, did you?
Well, he took it. I didn't give it. He took it.
Okay,
It's
I
some
wasn't
sort
sure if
of
it was the same
cursed
statue or a
item.
different one.
No, it's just, well, assuming it's the one I think you're talking about. The one
Rasslin,
where
take
we,
4 cards, get some reds, make everybody else discard their shit and laugh at them.
if it's the one I think you mean, yes, he has it. It's some sort of cursed item
Mhm.
that restores your mojo, but you have to do a sacrifice once. Well, not once a day, but once in a while you have to sacrifice a person to the statue, and then otherwise
You have to eat.
bad
You have
things
to
will
eat
happen.
their heart.
Something, I don't know. It's
Yes,
Henry's
that's what
problem,
you have
not my
to do.
problem.
You have to eat a heart.
Yeah,
Of
my
course
memory's a little fuzzy on that one. Who was with me when Kinley became a murdering psychopath?